Podcast Strategies, episode 62. Podcasts are referral marketing on a grand scale. Welcome back to the show this week. And I teased this topic on last week's episode, but we're going to go into it today. Podcasting as referral marketing on a grand scale. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that, but I want to ask you this question first. How many of your current clients came to you because of a referral? Now, if we hear stats out there in the marketing world, most people will try and push social media. They'll try and push ads. They'll try and push those things that they make money off of in terms of ways for you to generate business or get clients. But in reality, it's about 80%. This, of course, is an example of the 80-20 rule. For most businesses, 80% of their clients come from referrals. Now, what is a referral? Usually it's a former client, a current client is telling someone else about your business or about your store or whatever, or your real estate business or your law practice or whatever. They're telling someone else about you and their good experience. Or maybe they are telling their friends, or they're reading a review from a friend or a review from someone. Customer reviews are basically an example of referral marketing as well. What I would like you to think about is that podcasts are essentially that. Now, we've talked about this many times before. After a few episodes, after a few hours of listening to your voice and getting to know you and hearing your stories and hearing your experiences and your expertise, people trust you. They think of you as a friend. I've talked about that meme that shows an advertisement where it's a group of people hanging out, I think eating yogurt, and then there's a real person sitting next to that advertisement eating yogurt. And it's described as that's what it feels like to listen to a podcast. So if you're creating this huge group of friends, and when I say huge, even if you have 100 downloads per episode, that's 100 people who are thinking of you as a friend. If you have 500 people, 1,000, 10,000 people per episode, that's a lot of friends. That's a lot of people who could refer someone to you because they trust you in the first place. And if they tell someone about you, that's a pretty valuable referral. So start to think about that. Podcasting is essentially you building friendships with a bunch of people, and then you essentially are referring yourself to those people. That's powerful. That is essentially printing money in a way. If people trust you, they are going to buy from you. Know, like, and trust. It all comes back to that. So start to think about, if you already have a podcast, what could you do in your next episode to refer people back to you? What call to action could you put out there that your friends listening to you on the podcast would trust you enough to come and buy or take advantage of? Here's my challenge to you. Before my next episode, I'd like you to write down 3 things that you could do in your next episode of your podcast that would act as referrals on a grand scale. So before we wrap up today, I want to tell you a story about a conversation that a podcaster and I were having last week. We were just talking about what it's like to be an entrepreneur, what it's like to be alone most of the time, what it's like to be on your own for a lot of your business and growing your business. And she said to me, I just feel like I don't fit in anywhere. And those words really resonated with me. She was expressing her frustration at how so many conferences, memberships, courses, and resources are geared towards aspiring or brand new podcasters or entrepreneurs, and how she didn't always know how to find the help that she needed at her stage of podcasting now that she's past that beginner stage. She has a platform, she has an email list, a small email list, she has an audience, but she doesn't know how to scale to the next level and get the marketing resources she needs that are tailored to her future goals. And frankly, a lot of those conferences, memberships, courses, and resources that she was talking about are built around crowdsourcing answers from people in the group at the conference, not the people leading the group at the conference, which means that you wind up effectively trying to brainstorm marketing goals and business goals with people who are also learning, not people who are experts at it. There is beauty in community, but at some point you need to decide whose voice you're going to listen to when it comes to what's next. And that voice should be an expert who can cut through the noise of what's worked for me to tell you what will work for you. So I'm going to do something about that. And I kind of touched on this at the very end of the last episode. I'm starting a 4-person coaching intensive to help you grow your business starting in August. It's going to be a 90-day sprint, but you won't pass out, I promise. So together, here's what we're going to do. We will clarify your marketing strategy and message. We're going to prioritize your business goals because you need to know these in order to set up your marketing strategy correctly from the beginning. We're going to take aim on increasing your revenue. We'll talk about monetization strategies that actually will work for you, which includes products, pricing, sales funnels built on your current or future business and content. We're going to improve your workflow and systems and grow your audience and community. We're going to establish consistency, great production, and productivity. And we're going to focus in on the essential promotion and marketing tools that you should be using. Each participant in this 90-day 4-person intensive is going to get a detailed, individualized plan of action for things to do before the intensive, work to complete during the intensive, and a plan for growth after the 90 days are done. The format will be 2 monthly calls every other week with action items in between, plus a Slack group for community and Q&A in between the calls. The cost is only $297 per month. That's $891 total over 90 days. Your reward will be far greater than that, I guarantee you. If you're serious about growing your business and you're ready to take a leap forward, I'd like you to join this 4-person intensive. So please send me an email to danny@emeraldcitypro.com if you're interested. I'll follow up with you later this week to ensure it's a perfect fit. And I'm serious. I don't want you to miss out on this coaching intensive. You can hit the fall ahead of the game. Let me know if you're interested before the chance is gone. So that's it for the show this week. Next week, we are going to be talking about ads and sponsorships. We've talked about monetization before, but we really haven't gone into ads and sponsorships, ways you can get them, how to manage them, what to look out for, and all that fun stuff. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.